Hi, I'm Cash, and welcome back to Cash Talks Football, where I break down all the goals scored in the Premier League. And today we're doing Arsenal on their charge to win the title against Bournemouth. And of course, I'm going to cover all of the dodgy VAR decisions. And the first thing is this penalty where Kai Havertz is completely and utterly dived. And if you think it's a penalty, you're a moron, and I'm going to explain to you why you're a moron. But first off, well, now let's just get straight into it. Let's just get straight into his dive. So the problem you have here is look at his first foot has gone past the goalkeeper, so it's not an issue. This is an old tactic that football players have been using since the beginning of time. They drag their leg, they drag it, and they get contact, and then they go down. Remember, contact is not a foul. There I was looking at some people's comments on Twitter, and they go, oh, but there's contact. Contact does not mean a foul. Contact does not mean a penalty. And the fact that people are repeating that means they just don't know the basics about football. Stop repeating nonsense. Tell the truth. The truth is this is a dive. Watch. As he goes, he drags his foot to get that contact, and that's what goes down. The fact that this has gone to VAR and those other 5 referees have let this go and say that that's a penalty, you really have to ask the integrity of those referees, because it's not a penalty. And what was it? A couple of weeks ago, Doku, almost 2-footed, I can't remember who the player was now, in the chest with his studs in the box, and it wasn't a penalty. But apparently that is. You're having a laugh. The only people that actually think that's a legitimate penalty are Arsenal fans. Normal human beings will just go, no, it's clearly not. You know he's playing for that. He's diving. And the other part about it is, if you want to take simulation out of the game and you want to stop players cheating, you have to call that out and say, look, he's clearly dragging his hip foot. His actual foot that he's putting the weight on is completely fine. Here's the funny thing. If he puts the weight on that foot, and he can just pass it into the goal because he's already gone round the goalkeeper. He doesn't need to get a penalty. He can just score a goal, which makes it even worse for his dive. But the ref gives this, and then of course that changes the whole game. Arsenal don't need help to beat Bournemouth. They just don't. But they want to make this a tight, close title race, and you can see this more and more clearly with every decision that these referees are making. And I'm not going to have this, oh, they're incompetent rubbish, because these guys are getting paid an awful amount of money to do their job. Think about where you work and what you do for a living. If somebody was this incompetent and got decisions wrong, they'd be fired on the spot. Not apparently in the Premier League. They just get bigger and better games. So yeah, let's just get on to the goal scored. Decent penalty, beats the keeper nice and easy, rolls it on the floor. Keeper's got no chance, gone the wrong way. He's done him with the eyes. It's not a great penalty. This is one of the other things I was telling about the other day about how good the penalty takers are nowadays. They can drop the keeper to the ground and just roll it into the corner so simply. He doesn't even get it to the corner. Look, he gets in a really easy spot if the keeper goes the right way. Let's get on to the next goal. Okay, so you can see I can't remember his name. Odegaard. I was going to say Trossard, but Trossard's the guy that scores the goal. He's in this little pocket of space. But watch this Bournemouth player. He gets it all wrong here. They do a good job coming out to press the ball, which I've been talking about lately this last couple of weeks, about how quick you've got to come out to stop the pass. But this guy behind Odegaard here is the issue. So he's not goal side, and you can see this gap is opening up here. Declan Rice sees it, he's going to exploit it, he's going to run in. Now this guy could go with him, and he really needs to. It's one of these other basic things that they're not doing in the Premier League. They're not tracking their runners. And you've been seeing it all over the season, and at the end of the season, you'll see my compilation of all the goals scored and the amount of times people do not track the runners. All he's got to do is go with the runner here and just make his life harder. Doesn't necessarily have to win the ball, just make it so he doesn't have an easy chance to win the ball. And that's what he does. So when Odegaard goes for his pass, it bounces up and ricochets. Look, he's not gone with the runner, and Declan Rice is the first one to react to it. He's the first one running onto it. Off he goes, turns on the jets, and he gets there. Look at this as well, though. This guy here, look how far away he is, and he has to react because this guy doesn't. And of course, as he's reacting, he's leaving Trossard completely and utterly unmarked. All starts because this guy's lazy and he doesn't do his job. And you see how one person makes another person overwork, and because he overworked, what they'll do is they'll blame him. They'll go, oh, look, he's left his man and he's come out to challenge for the ball. He should have done it. No, it's all about this guy here. Should have tracked Declan Rice in the first place, and he doesn't. He's still stood there. He still hasn't even bothered to react. Here's the other thing. He could have realised that this player's Trossard's free and come and covered for him, because as his mates come in and covered for him, he hasn't done that. So the other thing, when Declan Rice receives the ball here, he's still got a lot of work to do because he's still surrounded. But watch this, he uses a little bit of skill, gets himself out of trouble, bump outside of the foot, rolls it out here, and then Trossard just passes it into the goal. And that guy is still walking for Bournemouth, not doing anything. That's why you need to play as a team and not be lazy. Now, there's a bit of a mess in the box when Bournemouth scored this goal. You can see here that there's a little bit of contact. But remember, contact isn't a foul. The keeper actually gets away and he gets a good strong punch on it. But, of course, the Bournemouth player here is pushed in by the Arsenal player. The Arsenal player is pushing the Bournemouth player into the Arsenal goalkeeper. He can't be fouling the Arsenal goalkeeper if somebody else is shoving him into him. It's not his problem, not his fault. But he still gets a good punch on it because he's not making enough contact or fouling at all. And there's a shirt pull going on over here, which is probably a possible penalty. But of course, they don't give you good replays on that. You could see it real time, but not on the highlights. Shocker. Now, let's have a look at something else. Quick little look at Ben White doing the exact same thing the other week. And of course, this was a goal. So maybe VAR cares about the badge that you're wearing and not necessarily whether or not it's a foul. And to no one's shock, the referee gives it a free kick to Arsenal for some other nonsense, blah-de-blah, forgets the shirt pull and the penalty and everything else, and takes a Bournemouth goal away. Absolutely shocking decision. If you don't think the Premier League's corrupt, look again. Let's get on to the last goal. This goal's all about Declan Rice. Watch this run from here. He runs from here all the way between these players, and this is where he receives the ball. Again, we have players from Bournemouth that could track the run quite easily, but they don't. They're too busy ball watching. They're not actually looking around. Remember, check the ball, check the player, check the ball, check the player. And if I can say it that fast, you can check it even faster moving your head. And that's what you need to be doing in this situation. But nobody does. They all focus on Saka and focus on the ball and completely ignore this guy that runs between all of them and receives the ball right there. As we've moved on, you can see these two midfielders haven't even noticed him just coming in on the blind side, have paid no attention whatsoever. Saka's going to pass him the ball straight through, and he's just going to turn and put it into the net box. Really, really simple. Just drifted in behind everyone, takes a touch, and then slots it into the goal. All because someone didn't track the runner. That's 2 goals Bournemouth gave away for not tracking the runner. 1 from the referee doing an absolutely dodgy decision on the VAR and not getting another goal back from the other VAR decision. Looks like it's going to be a title race all the way down. Who's paid the referees the most will probably win. Man City or Arsenal? Tell me in the comments below.